fade. Lovely fade. I've been having dreams about a girl on Arrakis. I don't know what it means.
Dreams make good stories. But everything important happens when we're awake.
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다입니다.
그 옛날에 어릴 때 하던 거 말이야?
So I think Squid Game is. I don't think it's overtly political. Apparently, you were telling me, Gary, that there's like a political message in Squid Game.
Yeah, the writer, at least that's what he said.
My takeaway from it was communism bad.
This Organized Chaos podcast is brought to you by JEMS Art Studio. JEMS Art Studio is an online store that allows access to prints that you can use for most anything, obviously as just a picture, or as a wallpaper, or as a bookmark, or anything you can think of. You can find JEMS Art Studio at etsy.com/shop/JEMS Art Studio. This podcast is also brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you.
But there is a video that a YouTuber much bigger than either of us talked about, where he talks about Squid Game and has like one of the worst takes ever.
I don't mean he's better than us.
No, he's not better than us. He's bigger than us, but he's not better than us. There's lots of people who are bigger than us that I cannot stand. I've been listening to lots of them during Comic Gate, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to kind of bring up this video, is because I've been listening to a lot of them during Comic Gate, and I need to send you this link, by the way. I'm going to send you a link to the email. But there's so many people that I will just listen to like a video or a podcast that they do, and it's so bad. And this is not even remotely one of the worst that we're going to look at here, but it's about Squid Game.
It's not even mildly cringy.
Oh, it's very cringy, but it's not one of the worst ones I've done recently. Oh God.
Oh dear God. You sending that to me in my email?
Yes.
I need to clear some stuff out because I haven't opened my email today apparently.
So yeah, let me know when you have that link up, and then we will dive into some cringe. The cringe, great. Oh yes, and because the way the link works, if you're on the video page, you'll be able to pause it and talk too, and it'll just be synced up.
Right. Join the room.
Yeah, that should be it.
There we go. And joining room. All right. Yep, it's starting and it paused.
Okay. Yeah, I see Bobby Quarters in here. All right, so let's go ahead and bring this up. Oh, the cringe is coming.
Talk about Squid Game.
Yeah.
We should talk about Squid Game.
Yeah.
What about it?
Squid Game is. I don't think it's overtly. You were telling me, Gary, that it was like there's like a political message in Squid Game.
Yeah, the writer, at least that's what he said.
My takeaway from it was. So now I'm going to say this for those that are listening. Spoiler alert: if you haven't finished Squid Game, it's an awesome show.
Yeah,
I prefer watching it in the original Korean with subtitles. I think it's fantastic.
I already don't like this guy.
Oh no! This Tim Pool is like the worst.
That's all.
Yeah, no, I will throw up there. This is Tim Pool. He is
How full
awful.
of yourself can you be? How fucking full of yourself can you be? Gee. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I get it. Yeah.
I only watch them in the original Korean. I read subtitles.
Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and give my 2 cents. I don't like the look of dubbed English if they're not originally speaking English, so I watched it the same way. That being said, like if you get a good voice cast for like an anime or something, I prefer anime in English. Actually.
Well, I don't mind subtitles at all, but if it offers a dub, I'll always take the dub because it's a little bit easier to pay attention. Because sometimes within film or even carrying out a scene and letting it play through, actors will run through the dialogue really quickly. They'll be talking really quickly, so you won't be able to catch all of the dialogue that's said. So
now that is the -2 subtitles by a huge margin, which I kind of want to bring up because like this show requires extra attention because you have to read it. Or you could do the dub, and there is like if the dub actually works for you and they do a good job with the voices, cool. It's not my thing. It's only with live action I have that issue. Period.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. I guess like I have the same view, but I don't come at from a pretentious look.
He just came off a little pretentious to me.
Well, yeah, it's Tim Pool.
Yeah, he already has a punchable face.
Oh fuck yeah!
I think it's fantastic. With the dub, you lose urban like natural sound. It's kind of weird. So spoiler alert! I'm gonna say it again. We are going to spoil this show to the
Kingdom Come.
To Kingdom Come. There we go. Spoiler alert. So something, and it was like
the creator called it a fable for modern day capitalism, but also for life and the competitiveness of life. And that message, it's not subtle at the end. I won't ruin for anybody, but it's not.
I just want to say, if that's what the creator said, yeah, he kind of nailed it. That's exactly what the show is about, pretty much.
Yeah, no shit, they weren't subtle with it. They weren't subtle with it from the start.
No, not at all.
Subtle at the end. And that messaging was there, and, some people can't get past it. I understand that, but I thought it was a damn good story.
But what was the messaging? Like, what do you think the message conveyed?
Well, it's basically a cold and cruel system. There in that fable, there is no resolution except for at the end they create their own enemy, quote unquote. But that's what I got out of it.
All right. Just for context, okay, because those of you that are sticking around, even though we told you spoilers are here, I'm gonna give you the quick breakdown of the show. It's a bunch of.
I've missed it. Does this video have spoilers? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell if they're inflating their own ego,
and
or
then
if
all
they
of a
just
sudden
want to
they get
spoilers.
I don't know.
An opportunity to play in a game, but the game is brutal and you die in it. But it's for people in debt, and then all of a sudden they get for people in debt, and then all of a sudden they get an opportunity to play in a game. The game is brutal and you die in it. But if you don't, you win. I think it's like equivalent of US like 35 to 40 million dollars is the translation. So it's like 45 billion Korean won or something. Now we're gonna get into again. I warned you, spoilers. I think the whole thing is the perfect example of somebody who thinks they're opposing capitalism, but just makes communism and wokeness look really, really dumb.
Huh.
And
okay, so you watched 4 episodes. What was the woke element you saw being critiqued?
I am paying attention.
I saw the whole thing. I didn't see anything about wokeness in this. What the fuck was he watching?
I'm curious to know.
I mean, there aren't even there's not even like
really
gay
quickly.
characters or anything like that. It's
No. Now you had mentioned this before we recorded today that we were going to be covering this guy. So this is my introduction to Tim Pool as a whole.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, a part of me is a little fascinated to dive deeper into his own what makes this one tick.
Mm-hmm.
But I could take a guess, and I'm sure it's of the opposite of, I'd just say collectively you and I. For the most part,
he's actually a tough one to gauge because he likes to call himself kind of like a centrist. But he's a centrist that largely just goes after Biden, and like when Trump does the same shit, he's like anti-Trump. So I don't know where he lies. Well, I know where he lies, and
it was just because of the language.
Territory.
Yeah.
It
was solely based off of the language he was using just now.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, when somebody is like yelling about communism, like first of all, anybody who watches Squid Game, yes, it's a critique of capitalism. I don't get a single reference of communism at all in here. And now that I think about, there was one gay character in this. They are not viewed favorably at all, so that doesn't count as woke.
No, not at all. Oh, here, let it play. I gotta switch batteries.
Oh, but don't you want to watch?
I'll still be able to watch. You
And the
just won't
show
be able
ends
to
up
see me
being-
react.
In my opinion, more anti-communist than anything. So one of the big themes in the show is that everyone is equal. They all enter the game as equals, and they're allowed to play as equals. And there's an arc in the show where it's like somebody violates the equality, and so they kill him. And they were like,
Okay, but yes, again, what is the big lie about capitalism? Capitalism is supposed to be everybody's equal. They aren't, but that's supposed to be what it's supposed to be. Everybody's equal, and that everybody, like, if you don't make it, that's on you. That's supposed to be what capitalism is all about, and that's what the show was about. But I'm sure Tim Pool has a master's degree in looking at literature and art, so I'm sure he knows all this stuff brilliantly. Really.
it's the worst thing
He seems like a well-rounded and educated individual.
Well, he's definitely well-rounded. Have you seen his beanie?
I could see his head.
Quality. But now,
Oh yeah, no, it's one
wears
of the
beanies.
weirdest things. If you ever see a picture of him without that fucking beanie on, his hair is like so like scattered and patchy. It looks ridiculous. There's a reason he wears that beanie all the fucking time.
Oh, well, I don't have a reason to wear one. I just like wearing one.
Yeah, no, it's fine to wear one, but yeah, his beanie's insufferable. There you go.
I still have all this to work with, so I mean, I'm not hiding anything.
Yeah, that's not what Tim Pool's working with.
It just kind of has a mind of itself. Yeah, now it's kind of doing a Jerry only thing.
Nice. Yeah, that kind of works.
here's how the show ends. In this equal system, everyone dies but one person who gets all of the money. Okay, so that doesn't sound to me like capitalism.
That sounds exactly like fucking capitalism, okay?
So wait. This joint competition to the
Yes.
death. You mean that one person walks away from it?
Yeah. Multiple people backstab each other to get ahead, and one person walks away with all the money.
Blasphemy.
That is communism to a T. I don't know what you're talking about.
Capitalism, we recognize not everybody is equal. We do want equal opportunity, but some people are poor and some people are rich. In this system, everyone is wearing the same clothes in the same room, being brutalized by the powers that ultimately results in one person having all the wealth and everyone dying. That is not capitalism. In capitalism, there's too much food. People are morbidly obese.
And people are starving to death. Dude, yes, capitalism is plenty of food and people die without food. Still, that's one of the issues with capitalism. I mean, holy shit. I
mean, I guarantee you this guy has never decided whether to buy a loaf of bread or pay the power.
Exactly.
And there are homeless people who are fat. Everybody wears the same clothes. They have limited access to anything. They get garbage food every day. They're like, okay, the game's over. Here's the food you get, and they get trash. Yeah. And they're fighting.
Okay, they aren't getting a lot of food. Actually, I thought the food they got, it varied. At the end, they got a fucking ribeye.
If they're entering in a competition like this, I don't expect them to be eating like 5-star full course meals. Like,
yeah, the food they got was weird, but like they had like a baked potato, they had corn. It didn't sound like they were getting a lot of food, but
why?
Like, what is his angle?
Why is the food one of this guy's arguments?
I don't know. I know.
Like, did he remove his head from his ass before he started recording today?
Okay, so that would be his strategy every day he records if that was it.
We already have one fucking Alex Jones. I mean,
well, he's not there, but he's awful.
He's well on his fucking way.
Oh yeah.
Fighting each other because they're starving. The show is actually like it's actually capitalism that's bad. I'm like, it just goes to show this is a person who made a great show but was really dumb and didn't understand they were actually critiquing communism.
It's like
or Tim, let me go out here and say, you don't know how to critique media. I know it's out there. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Typically, on those political things,
it took him.
I was going to say, typically, when one of those things that are political that I'm not that informed on, I tend to keep quiet on and just say, "Well, I disagree with it."
Yeah. There's that take too.
Just play it safe like that. But
to me,
I have a very hard time believing that this guy knows the desperation that the main characters were in. I'm not saying that I personally do, but I've been in debt.
Yeah.
I've been flat broke.
No, I've been.
I just
not as.
I've made that decision on whether to pay my bills or buy groceries. I'm just happy I worked in food service and was able to take home a lot of deli.
Yeah, there's that advantage, but yeah, there's the big question: do I pay water or do I pay rent? Little questions like that.
Yeah.
That type of shit is kind of at the center of this series, especially during the real life stuff that drove them to be in this game. Yeah.
It took them out of a capitalistic system where they were doing pretty bad to a communistic system where they were doing really, really bad. And were executed by the state, which usually happens under communism.
Right. Childish whim.
Okay. The whole.
His shirt. I was reading his shirt.
I'm Joe. Oh, and I forget that. Yeah.
I'm Joe Biden, and I forgot this message.
Well, Joe Biden probably did. So.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
But now you got me lost. This critique is so bad. It's so bad. They don't understand that this whole show, the game, is meant to be a microcosm of capitalism.
Yeah.
We can do the whole Walter White method where we take seasons and we show a character evolve to being like this drug kingpin or whatever. But this show, it's a microcosm showing how all these people are put into this kind of semi-capitalist system and they backstab, and how they win is by being dirty. Duh.
Fuck's sakes.
Communism.
Right.
I mean,
for childish whim.
And that's literally what happens under communism. Look up, what happened in China, what happened in Russia, what happened in, in Europe as well. So there's a lot.
Okay. So if we're talking, these guys like to go back to Marx as their communist person. There has not been an actual government that runs under Karl Marx version communism probably ever. Probably the closest we get is to a hippie commune. Now we talk about things like communist China and things like that.
Yeah.
What we're mostly talking about is actually kind of more dictatorship stuff. Yeah, but that's largely what they're referencing. They're talking about dictatorships, not communism. But I don't expect them to know that, because let's face it, guys like this, communism is a fucking negative buzzword at this point. It's not an actual thing that they know anything about.
Absolutely. No, it's not. It's just it's a hype word.
Yes.
It's a woke word.
Yeah, a woke word. Jesus. Yeah, the show is so woke.
Long history. There's a long context to it. Another very interesting aspect of the story is the masks that the very rich people were wearing were similar to the same masks that the Rothschilds were pictured wearing at some of their private parties and galas a couple of decades
ago. And the Rothschilds are communist? Is that their argument? Is that what they want to go with here?
They're pulling at they're pulling at every thread here.
Oh my god. They don't even know what they're talking about. I mean, the Rothschilds are fucking rich capitalists. I mean, holy shit.
Were these guys big into QAnon?
I'm not gonna lie, probably not. But they probably have a lot of their audiences, so they probably won't outright discredit it either.
Because the level that they're reaching, I'm again making an assumption based off of what I'm seeing, but
I try not to watch these guys often, but
yeah, it's hard to believe that
right now. I have to pause every couple seconds. No.
Yeah, we're like not even 5 minutes. We're not even halfway through this.
It's a bit rough. It's like, God damn it. Oh God. Oh yes.
Ago. So I.
Oh yeah, and one thing I wanted to add: communism. Like, okay, pure Marx communism. I'll go ahead and dive into it. What it is essentially you have a community, and this is why communism, by the way, has never been enacted on a large scale. You essentially have a community, and people contribute to the community based on their what they have and what they want to contribute, and that's how a community strives. It's not really set up for a get-rich setup at all. It's one of those things where, like, idealistically, it would be great if we could live like that. Humanity, I don't feel, is built for it. I don't think communism is an actual viable government model, but it's kind of an idealistic model. I just wanted to say that.
I saw that right away. I was like, wait, that's the lead. I thought of the movie more of a critique about the ruling elites, because it's essentially, again, spoiler alert, rich people coming together to watch the average poor people, struggling people kill each other over money. And there's some important kind of parallels there.
Again, what are the rich people? Are the rich people communists? Is that his argument? I mean, holy shit.
They're the bad man.
Jeff Bezos. Is Jeff Bezos a communist?
They're the bad man. Well, I mean, Jeff Bezos is many things, but I mean, I use the word bastard for one. But
yes, he is.
Mostly just because what type of jackass says that they go to space to get a perspective? Fuck you.
What type of jackass makes a rocket that's
that
clearly
Elon
a
Musk
fucking
who said
penis?
Or is that Elon Musk who said that?
I don't know. They're both awful, though. He would be my other example for piece of shit capitalist.
Yeah.
The movie, the series, if you're sensitive to that stuff, I wouldn't watch it. I watched it. I was like, Tim, you gotta watch it. You're like, eh. but you watched it, and it is very thought provoking. It is very emotional, and it definitely pulls at the heartstrings in many different ways.
I looked this up, Luke. You ain't kidding.
What is this?
There's a bunch of photos from this Rothschild's party where they're all wearing these masks that are similar to the Squid Game thing. Yeah. But that's probably what he was doing, the creator.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah,
no.
Those look nothing.
Oh,
nothing.
No. Like I want to say the last 4 episodes, we get introduced to the guys really behind this, and they wear masks very similar to that. I think the creator probably pulled from this type of data. I think he probably did base it off the Rothschilds, who are not communist, by the way.
No, they are very much capitalists. Very much.
It was a guy, right, who created it?
Well,
it was a guy, right, who created it? I'm saying.
Well, the story, I'm hearing a lot of different reports about this guy saying that he lost a bunch of teeth because of the stress during the production of this movie. I heard that he tried to get this movie for years and it kept getting denied. So
the series, you mean?
Yeah. But yeah, I remember seeing those masks, automatically thinking, wait. I know. I saw these masks before. They're at the private galas and private meetings of the super rich that already do take place when you do look at the very powerful people in our world that manipulate the system for their own personal benefit.
I'll put it this way. Capitalism isn't the problem. Communism doesn't exist. It's just this idealized system, and we might as well call it unicornism. The real problem is corruption.
I
What?
But
communism doesn't exist?
Yeah, you guys are screaming about all the fucking time. Yeah, it's not a thing that's... Jesus Christ.
When you do look at the very powerful people in our manipulate the system for their own personal benefit.
I'll put it this way. Capitalism isn't the problem. Communism doesn't exist. It's just this idealized system, unicornism. The real problem is corruption and corporatism. And the left says capitalism when they mean corporatism.
I think that's exactly the problem. I think that's...
What does the right say?
I don't...
What exactly does the right say, since we're talking so much about the left?
Yeah, I know. Well, he boogeyman's the left all the fucking time. I would proudly consider myself a member of, by the way. But
Sames.
But yeah, this is, dude. This okay. The corporatists. Who are the corporatists? What system do the corporatists thrive in? What system allows our corruption to really go out there? I mean, this is no. Okay.
That's what he's doing with the masks. He thinks that the
biggest promoters and pushers of communism and destroyers of actual real free markets. Another interesting aspect was the fat guy. I mean, he looked almost exactly like Newt Gingrich. I talked to Newt Gingrich a couple times. I went up to him.
I'm sorry. What was that random shit? He was like, what? The rich people are promoting communism.
He's name dropping. He's name dropping clearly right now.
Yeah.
Newt Gingrich.
Yeah, Newt Gingrich.
That name drop. I'm surprised he's still alive. I thought he died.
Newt Gingrich, God, I think he actually drinks the blood of unicorns. I don't think he can die.
Either that, or he eats baby toads.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think Newt Gingrich was like 80 years old when when I was a kid. So.
Yeah. I thought he was like Leslie Nielsen old.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Maybe.
Like he was Rico
straight up to his face. Hey, what did you do at the Bohemian Grove with typically male prostitutes? And he was sweating up a storm. I did this like 5 times to him. He really doesn't like being asked those questions. But we got to understand here, there is some level of reality when it comes to super rich people coming together in the middle of the woods doing very weird things. That does happen. It's called the Bohemian Grove. There's also other kind of secret societies and offshoots to these secret societies.
Remember when Bilderberg was a conspircy theory?
Yeah, they said it didn't exist. They said it didn't exist a few years ago. And I was there at the meetings. Be like, it's here. It's happening. They're like, no, he's crazy.
Remember when they sent that dude from The Guardian down and he was really angry?
Charlie Skelton. He came there to make fun. He's now my friend. Charlie Skelton was sent to make fun of the...
Okay, I'm just going to interrupt because I'm not too interested in what they're saying. But, one of the things I did want to talk about during Squid Game was the secret society stuff. We know of Jeffrey Epstein. We do know the elites are into some very seedy stuff, which we see.
Yeah, Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
That's been well documented at this point. Fun fact about that, if you look it up on Google Maps, it's blacked out.
Ooh.
You cannot see the property from, the terrain.
Mm-hmm.
Fun little fact. It just shows it as dense woods. That's all it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's also that picture of Epstein with Bill Clinton that for some reason Facebook always auto censors for some reason. Yeah, no, there's seedy shit going on. This is true.
Well, there is. There clearly is seedy shit going on, and people are trying to blow the lid off of it.
Yes.
But I mean, let's take a cue from what happened with somebody who was in one of those pictures. When like how you said that photo of Epstein and Clinton keeps getting blocked by Facebook. Well, Epstein got arrested. Clearly, if all of this is true, which is looking like it is, obviously they're going to want to silence the canary.
Mm-hmm.
He was found hanging in a maximum security cell?
Mm-hmm.
The cameras just happened to go out. Yeah, a lot of it. You don't have to be a true crime fan to to have your suspicion radar kind of go, what the fuck?
It's seedy as fuck.
It is questionable as fuck.
Mm-hmm. But we all know the rich are up to something. God knows what they're up to that we don't know about.
Do you really want to know? And I'm not saying turn a blind eye to it, but I mean, if somebody who was in on it and got busted, and that he was found hanging from his cell, you really want to keep digging?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Well, I want to go back to
I'm not condoning it.
No.
I'm not condoning it at all.
They're into seedy stuff. I doubt it's as complex as what we see in Squid Game. Squid Game is definitely an overexample. But the idea of maybe they're getting poor people together to fight, that seems fucking realistic to me.
It seems believable.
But again, these guys' whole argument is that this is communism. What the fuck are you on?
Where do you get your pot?
People outside. They sent them down there. He literally got followed everywhere, assaulted by police officers. They raided his hotel room. They raided my hotel room. The police officers acted like the Gestapo against any journalist trying to do any real reporting against the Bilderberg group. And he came out of it shook, saying, hey, I thought these guys were crazy. I came here to make fun of them. These guys are honest. I'm being followed by police everywhere I go, and they're literally trying to arrest me for just trying to take a photo of David walking down the street together. I got arrested at Bilderberg. I got arrested at Bilderberg way too many times, too.
Nope, not a real thing.
That doesn't exist.
Bye-bye.
Crazy.
I remember there being like this.
They'd be like, here it is.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, sorry, sir, it's a private event. It's the Bilderberg, group meeting, and
sorry, I'm
newspaper,
skipping ahead a bit because like they're just talking about like rich conspiracies and it doesn't help their point at all. But let's get to the show.
Private event, Bilderberg, group meeting, and look in the newspaper and it's like real thing.
Yep, doesn't
there, Bohemian Grove, and this is some of the stuff we know about. What about the stuff we don't know about? So I thought this was a perfect time to talk about the bigger elements of the elites who do sinister things, the larger conversation of Squid Games.
But that's always the criticism is always the corrupt elites. I don't, when they talk about like, communism, they never actually implement it because it's not possible. It's impossible to do. And then when they criticize when
communism is entirely what Tim Pool is talking about here, but it's not brought up in fucking Squid Game. I swear to fucking God.
Left criticizes capitalism. They're really just angry. They're elites do really messed up things and get away with it because of how much power they've accumulated. And the problem is communism doesn't exist. Right? They say they every time they try it, they get some weird form of, genocidal authoritarianism. Capitalism at its root is just people with capital from their work can reinvest that into making more projects. However, in our current system, which mixes it, we end up with a lot of corruption. And then you get a left saying, aha, this proves capitalism doesn't work. And it's like, no, actually, the problem is the corruption.
Yeah.
I don't...
So his argument is we don't have enough capitalism. What we need is more rampant corruption, and that will fix the current system. That is his argument just now.
But what he's saying, and if we're doing it the way he's saying to implement it, it will only just further continue that cycle of corruption.
Yeah.
And he's just missing the whole.
I mean, I hate to even pull this, but like even Joe Rogan understood like regulations and stuff are fucking necessary. And if Joe Rogan is out thinking you are fucking up hard.
I mean, clearly this guy is trying to go that Joe Rogan method of, being edgy and political or anti-political or whatever. Like, he's getting a lot of it, and I'm getting a lot of elements of Joe Rogan from what we're watching from his show, and it's just, oh god, this guy is so fucking arrogant.
No shit.
Oh, I just kind of want to
care who's
doing blow it out your ass.
Yeah. I'm certain you can.
Or why corruption bad.
When you use the patent to destroy your competitors in the quote free market, that's not a free market.
Not the free market.
That's communism. That's government direct intervention.
That's the free market. Dude, that is exactly what the free market does if you let it run unabated. Eventually, like if you let it run without any sort of regulation, it just becomes a fuck ton of monopolies where people just have all the money and everybody just is poor as shit. That's how capitalism works if run unregulated. I mean, how much evidence do we need? We're living it in the United States. Fuck.
Intervention into the free market that's preventing the market express itself from being able to speak for itself because usually in the free market, if someone does something good, they get promoted, they get business, they get commerce, they get people going to them because they know that their reputation is good. When you have billionaire elites playing by a different set of rules, not paying taxes, getting subsidies, literally getting taxpayer-funded money, getting bailouts and restrictions and rules that punish their competitors and only help them, that is not a free market. We don't.
No shit, that's not a free market. But what was the system that allowed them to gain that much power? It's the corruption. Yes. Oh my god.
That we have multinational corporations calling the shots, creating policies that screw you over while they get whatever they want for the grabbing.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL.
Okay, thank you for sitting through that with me. That was fucking awful. That was.
He's a cunt. He's a cunt, and his Twitter feed just.
Oh yeah, no, I think I've looked at his Twitter feed before. It's egregious, but yeah, I've actually lost friends to people. He's awful.
And I quote: "It's surprising to think that people. It's surprising that people make a show about people being forced into equality, stand in food lines where they are underfed, and used as fodder. Does not represent communists in any way." The second comment that he tweeted in this thread. The reality is that it's just authoritarianism, but lends against communism. These critiques capital if you try. These are critiques of capitalism if you try hard enough. But ... And the final tweet that they're showing in this thread to him is forced equality at gunpoint, privileged elites controlling the game, people killing each other, and other desperate and angry is more analogous to the Soviet Union and the U.S., where homeless people are overweight.
Yeah, well, he's so bad.
I have yet to see one disadvantaged, overweight, vagrant, or homeless person. If I do, a part of me will think, well, he's been recently homeless.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't think I've ever seen like an overweight.
Should I mess
person.
with them?
Always.
Should I mess with them?
Yeah. Always, yes. But like they even bring up out in the
yes.
You have my thumbs up. Always mess with these assholes. But yeah, he brought up how like communism is not an actual
49 million is the final asking offer. Yeah, fuck off.
But yes,
sorry, they're trying to buy my parents' house.
But yes, communism. They even brought up how communism is not something. It's not really a viable government, which I agree with. It would be a great government if we could do it, but it's not really viable. But yeah, they're talking about how.
Oh yeah, it's a great idea.
But then they literally talk about how communist China was, and it's like that wasn't communism. That was authoritarianism. That was a dictatorship more than anything else. Like they use these buzzwords and then immediately just kind of ignore what they'll even say about the buzzword if it means furthering their point. And these guys drive me fucking nuts. I want to go ahead and add some audio credits at the end here. The theme music you're hearing at the beginning and end of this podcast was written and performed by George Johnson, a very good friend of mine. And my current Patreons are Fel Martins, David Lara, and Lindsay Pankhurst. If you'd like to become a patron, go ahead and follow the link down below. Anything you can provide would be incredibly helpful to this channel. We're barely limping by right now. I'd love to make this my full-time job. I'm miles away from that right now. So any help you could provide, just $1 a month would be amazing. You know you want to. All your friends are doing it.
Lovely fate.